Hey guys, well, it is Halloween, October 31st, and we're up on a property in Missouri that we've got a west wind, pretty strong, pretty consistent throughout the evening. And we've got one really nice 8 that we're hunting here this evening. He's kind of been making his way back and forth on several of these uh, hunting locations. I hunted for him this morning, didn't end up seeing him. Activity this morning was just pretty slow compared to what I was thinking of, but I think it was going to be. But I did want to do a quick little video on where do your bucks go during the rut. And basically you've got, the way I look at it is you've got 3 different types of bucks. You first have your core bucks, and basically those are the deer that will stay on your property for the entire year except for a small portion of that during the rut, and they typically will breed all the does on your area or your property first before moving on into that secondary or third property. And then the next one is what they call a sentinel buck. And basically what that deer is doing is he will allow the does to come to him. Every once in a while you'll see this, especially your bigger mature deer that have been highly pressured. They'll either move a lot during the nighttime, or they'll just let those does come to him on your piece of property. So essentially he'll stay bedded in an isolated area, and then once those does move into his area, then he'll actually get up and start the breeding process. And then the last one is going to be your non-core bucks, and those are the bucks that are either you've never seen them before, or they're the deer that will come onto your piece of property during the rut time period only, just moving through, as they make their way from property to property in a big circle, whatever their routine is. The unique thing about those deer is every single one of them is going to be different, but each one of them have their own strategy, and you've got to understand, that on one particular deer you hunt, it may be different on that next deer slightly, especially during that rut time period. So, don't get your hopes up necessarily for that one particular deer once that rut hits, unless you've seen year after year, that deer has been staying on your core ground, and you feel like you've got a pretty good chance of harvesting, because you may have another deer move through that's a mature buck that you definitely want to, don't want to pass up, just for that opportunity of that other deer, unless you just absolutely have your heart set up on that one deer. The other thing is typically what I'll see is, like in our areas that we've got a bunch of ag, that we've got a lot of deer, a lot of bucks that were in ag fields, soybean fields, for instance, over the summer months, or maybe our Nixa hardware summer giant, that have utilized that piece of property or this piece of property for the summer months, but then turn right back around and they're out of there because it's not their core area. And what those deer will tend to do is they'll go ahead and move off that summertime pattern, and then during that rut they'll come back and visit and see if there's any does in estrus to be able to breed as they make their rounds. So basically it's just, 3 different types of bucks that I've hunted in the past. Each one of them is a little bit different, but just something to definitely keep in mind. And hopefully you guys are getting out there and enjoying nature, because it is prime time. The leaves are changing colors, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful time. And we've got some outstanding weather along there. So during this early part of the rut, make sure you're up in those woods hunting pretty hard, unless you've got some rock solid doe movement in those food plots or an agriculture field, and then make your move from there. So we're gonna go ahead and get quiet, take you guys along for this hunt, and hopefully you guys are getting out there in nature, and best luck on your upcoming hunt.